She held onto my leg as though releasing meant death. A German Shepherd puppy shaking, abandoned along the streets of Los Angeles. It was just after noon, heat rising from the pavement. People walking by with coffee cups and shopping bags, never. Slowing down, but she did not notice them. She noticed only me. I felt her small paws clutch my calf, her nails scraping through my jeans like she was trying to cling to the only thing that had not harmed her. Her ribs pressed against her skin. Her tail was tucked so tight it barely shifted, and her eyes, God, those eyes. They were not only scared, they were broken. I froze. I had just stepped out of the deli on La Brea and Sunset, sandwich in one hand, phone in the other, not expecting my entire world to change. I glanced down and there she was. No leash, no collar, no tag. Just a tiny, dirt-covered puppy whose whole life now depended on me not walking away. A couple behind me sneered. "What is that animal doing here?" She flinched. She did not release. Her body was so light, I thought she might snap if I touched her wrong. I bent down and she pressed her head against my shin like she was trying to vanish into me. She smelled of garbage and panic. Her breathing was fast, like she had been running. 4 hours, and then she made a sound. A low, aching whine that did not come from her throat. It came from somewhere deeper. I had heard that sound once before years earlier when I watched my own German Shepherd take his last breath at the vet. I dropped to my knees. She collapsed immediately into my arms. Her legs gave way like her body had only been running on hope. I looked around, searching for someone, anyone who might have known where she belonged, but no one even turned their face. So I sat there on the hot concrete, holding this broken German Shepherd puppy in the middle of the street with cars flying past and the smell of fumes in the air. And in that instant, I knew I could not leave her. But I had no idea what to do next. She did not move the whole time I carried her. Her body hung against my chest like a rag soaked in heat and fear. I could feel her ribs move with each breath, every one shallow, uneven. She weighed almost nothing, like hunger had already hollowed her body out. People passed by. Some looked. No one stopped. One man muttered, "Dirty stray," under his breath as he went past. I pushed open the passenger door of my truck, placed her down on an old towel, and reached for a half-empty water bottle in the console. I poured some into my palm and lifted it to her lips. For a moment, she did not react. Then, suddenly, like a flame had been lit inside her, she licked at the water with a wild, frantic need. She coughed, spilled it everywhere, pawed weakly at my hand like saying, "Do not take it away." I whispered, "Easy, girl. You are safe now." Her paw twitched. Her back legs jerked, and then nothing. Her whole body went limp. My chest tightened. I touched her side, still breathing, but barely. Panic clawed up my throat. I slammed the door and slid behind the wheel, started the engine with one hand, the other resting on her tiny body to feel the rise and fall. "Just hold on," I said. "Please. My name is Mark. I do construction. I am not a vet, not a rescuer, not anyone special. Just a guy who once had a German Shepherd named Max. 15 years of loyalty, then gone in a flash. I swore I would never go through that pain again. But this small one did not care about my promises. She had already picked me. I turned off Sunset and pressed the gas, heading toward the closest animal clinic I knew. The road shimmered with heat. Cars honked. Then I glanced over and saw her eyes flicker open. She tried to lift her head, failed, and then she made a sound so soft I almost missed it. It was the faintest whine, like a child crying in a nightmare. I pulled into the vet clinic's lot like I was sliding into an emergency room. Gravel kicked up. I did not even shut the engine. I lifted her, towel and all, and rushed through the glass doors. The receptionist looked up, startled. "Is she hurt?" "She is barely breathing," I said. German Shepherd puppy, found her on Sunset. Please. Before I could finish, a tech appeared from the back door and waved me through. I followed, heart racing, holding her like something precious and fragile. They took her from my arms. She whimpered once, as though afraid I was leaving. I reached out, fingers brushing her paw before the door swung shut between us. I stood in the hallway alone. My hands were shaking. My shirt was damp where her body had been. A minute passed, then 5, then 10. I sat down in one of those hard plastic chairs and stared at the wall. Max's face flashed in my mind, his last night. The way he looked at me with trust, even as I said goodbye. I thought I had buried all of that pain. But this little one had ripped the wound wide open. And the truth struck me like a punch to the gut. I was terrified. Not of losing her, of needing her, of letting my heart open again. A vet came out. She is stable for now, she said, badly dehydrated. Her blood sugar dangerously low. We have started fluids. She is responding. I felt my knees weaken. Relief and guilt hit me together. Can I see her? I asked. She nodded. I stepped into the back room, and there she was, curled under a warming lamp, a tiny the fourth taped to her paw, a small towel wrapped around her like a blanket. She noticed me. Somehow, despite it all, she lifted her head just a little. Her eyes met mine and did not look away. I stepped forward, knelt down beside the table, and whispered, "You are safe. I promise." And then she wagged her tail. Weak. Barely seen, but it moved. She remembered me, and somehow she still trusted me. That tiny wag broke me. I did not even realize I was crying until a tear struck the metal edge of the table. She was still shaking, still wrapped in fear and weakness. But she had chosen to move for me. That tail, the smallest flicker of hope, cut through all the noise in my head. I reached out, gently set my hand near her face. Her nose twitched. She nudged my palm with the tip of her snout. No strength left in her body, but still wanting touch. The vet came back in, a woman in her 50s with steady hands and tired eyes. We will keep her overnight. She needs monitoring, blood work, warmth, food when she can handle it. But she is a fighter. I nodded. What is her chance? She hesitated. Honestly, she should not have made it this far. I looked down at her again. Her eyes were still on me, still locked in, like I was the only thing holding her here. She did not make it this far alone, I said. The vet gave a soft smile. You can sit with her for a while. They moved her to a quieter room. Less equipment, no buzz of machines, just her, curled on a heated pad, the IV still taped to her leg. I pulled a chair beside her and sat quietly, watching her chest rise and fall in tiny, uneven motions. I did not know what I was doing. I was not supposed to be here. I was supposed to be on a job site downtown, laying drywall, not keeping vigil for a puppy I had met an hour ago. But I did not move. At some point, she dozed off. Her breathing steadied. Her legs twitched. Little sleep kicks like she was chasing something in a dream. I found myself hoping she was dreaming of safety, of running somewhere soft, somewhere kind. I looked around the room. White walls, shelves of bandages, faint smell of antiseptic. Then I looked back at her. I whispered, "You do not have a name, do you?" She did not stir, not yet. But I had already started picturing the day she would. She woke up crying. It was early morning, barely light outside. I had dozed off in the chair, my neck stiff and legs numb when I heard it. Quiet at first, then sharper like a whimper turning into a wail. She was twisting on the pad, her legs kicking, mouth open. In a silent yelp. Her whole body shook like she was trapped in something I could not see. I moved quick, crouched beside her. Hey, you are okay?" I whispered, brushing a hand across her back. You are safe." Her eyes flew open, wild, confused. Then she saw me, and just like that, her body stilled. She curled back into a tight ball, head resting on the towel, breathing fast and shallow. That was when I noticed she still had not eaten, not a single bite. The food the clinic had left sat untouched in a little bowl next to her. I asked the tech about it when they came in. She shrugged. Sometimes trauma just shuts them down, or they are too used to scrambling for scraps to trust anything clean. I stared at the untouched kibble. I could not explain it, but something about that bowl hit me harder than the 4 or the blood tests. She was too scared to eat, too unsure this was real. They ran more checks, hooked her up to fluids again. I signed a form that I barely read, just nodded and scribbled where they told me. Then came the moment I had been dreading. She cannot stay here long term, the vet said. We are not a shelter. If you are not able to take her, we will have to contact animal control or try to place her with rescue. No guarantees. I looked down at her. She was curled up again, one paw twitching. Still no name, still no home. The idea of her going back into the system of being shuffled between loud cages, cold floors, strange hands, something inside me twisted, but I told them I need time. Just a day or two. They agreed, gave me instructions, medicine, small cans of food I was not sure she would ever touch, and then they placed her back into my arms. As soon as she felt my hold again, she calmed. Her little head rested against my chest like it belonged. There. The receptionist looked at me as I left. You sure she is just a stray? She asked. That dog clings to you like she has been yours forever. I did not answer because deep down I already knew she was not just a stray. She was someone the world had abandoned, and now she was mine to protect.